Good morning.
Morning.
There's my witnesses. Oh, okay. So thank you, Chair and members. Great to see you. I would like to first thank the co-authors and joint authors of this measure who are on this committee for joining me in this effort. California, New Mexico, Mississippi are the only states that have no minimum age to marry. Under existing California law, a child may marry or enter into a marriage or domestic partnership with parental consent and approval of a court. Research has shown that women who marry as children face lifelong consequences, including limited educational opportunities, lower economic mobility, and greater risk for violence and unwanted pregnancies. Many organizations, including Human Rights Watch and the U.S. State Department, consider marriage before 18 to be a human rights abuse and a form of child abuse. California's statute sets the age of majority, meaning who is considered to be an adult at 18 years old. Although California grants minors certain rights, the age of majority plays a crucial role in determining when individuals are granted certain rights and responsibilities, including the right to vote, enter into contracts, and make important legal decisions. Notably, the age of sexual consent in California is 18 without exception, meaning that an individual who engages in sexual intercourse with a minor can be charged with statutory rape unless that individual is the spouse of the minor. When a minor enters a marriage, a sexual relationship that would otherwise be illegal under California law is transformed into a legally recognized relationship. Even with judicial approval, child marriage can undermine statutory rape protections and has been documented as a tool used by abusers and traffickers to maintain control over minors. California must protect our kids and end child marriage once and for all. To achieve that, AB 1267 sets the minimum age for marriage at 18. With me to testify in support are Darcy Troughton, the Executive Director of the California Commission on the Status of Women and Girls, and Christina Sutton, a survivor of child marriage. And for technical questions, I have Rosanna Cavacho Elliott, and she's here on behalf of Unchained at Last. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members. My name is Christina Sutton. I live in San Francisco. Some frame child marriage as a choice driven by love. That framing sidesteps a hard truth. Adults who pursue children are not acting from love, and parents who hand their daughters to grown men are not acting in the child's best interest. AB 1267 would have protected me. I was 16 when a nearly 22-year-old man began a sexual relationship with me within hours of meeting me. The legal term for that is statutory rape. Within months, I was faced with marrying him. I had never wanted to date him. My parents knew this, yet he had their full support. When stuck between a rock and a hard place, California allowed me to be legally chained to that rock and called it a marriage. To this day, I wish I had had just a few more months to turn 18 and legally remove myself from both situations. I could have finished high school. I could have attended college. Instead, I felt like a commodity, valueless outside of that transaction. I remember sitting in a judge's chambers in Napa being asked point blank, "Are you being forced to do this?" Like most abused children, I chose lying to a judge over risking escalation at home. I repeated exactly what my parents had coached me to say. I am very mature for my age. I am choosing this. I carried that re-victimization for years, believing that by speaking those words, I had somehow chosen what I was forced into. The failure of every adult around me is appalling. That the marriage was legal does not absolve California of responsibility. Voting for AB 1267 is akin to voting against AB 1267 is akin to supporting child abuse and exploitation. Voting for AB 1267 is to protect children from those who wish to harm them.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair and committee members. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Darcy Totten. I'm the Executive Director of the California Commission on the Status of Women and Girls. We are proud to co-sponsor this bill, AB 1267. I want to start with the heart of the issue today, which is that the bill is not really about sort of these Romeo and Juliet scenarios we've heard in the past. It's not about teenagers in love or pregnant teenagers. It's about marriage, which is a legal contract conferring roughly 1,138 federal protections, and that's before we get to the additional hundreds of rights conferred by the state. Specifically, I'm a queer person who's fought really hard for those rights. I understand how important marriage is and how much it matters. But a lot of those rights and responsibilities are not the things we would normally entrust to children. Marriage is about a lot of things, all of them requiring the capacity for adult decision making. So we want to make sure we aren't conflating sort of teen relationships and then tying it to marriage. The age of consent, as mentioned, is 18 years old. Getting married at 13 or 15 does not suddenly turn that child into an adult in any other way under the law. She can't suddenly vote or buy alcohol or a lottery ticket. More importantly, she can't seek protective orders or stay in most domestic violence shelters. Ultimately, in many ways, they become a ward of the spouse. They can't leave the marriage once they're in it in any sort of functional, safe way. So what these marriages do, in most cases, is simply change the status of the adult man involved, because statistically, that's what we're dealing with, from a rapist to a husband. These are adult men involved with children. If a 15-year-old doesn't have the capacity to withstand the social pressures of Instagram or some of the other things that we're working on here, pressures of grooming by a legal adult in the context of a relationship does not indicate that they had the capacity to consent to marriage. Historically, girls are married off before the age of 18 in ways that are absolutely sort of either to evade accountability for statutory rape or domestic violence, human trafficking, other gender-based violence. And they are at particularly high risk of experiencing domestic violence, homelessness, financial dependency, and abuse.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here in support of AB 1267? Please state your name, organization, if any, and your position on the bill. If you choose to just state your first name or no name at all, that's perfectly fine as well.
Good morning, Chairperson and members of the Judiciary Committee. My name is Kaylin, and I'm a 14-year-old Girl Scout, and I'm currently a freshman at Pioneer High School in San Jose, California. I enjoy editing videos, voicing my opinions on a lot of things, and watching movies. And when I grow up, I would like to be an actress in films, or I would like to work in sports media. But when people ask me what I want to be when I grow up, I often change my answer a lot, and I'm still figuring out what I want to be. And that is exactly the point. Kids should be thinking about schools, friendships, activities, sports, how to get to college, what kind of career they would like, and all the possibilities ahead, not thinking about getting married. Kids should have the freedom to grow up before making a decision or being forced into a decision as serious as marriage. Globally, all marriage before the age of 18 is considered a forced marriage, which is a form of modern slavery. And the U.S. State Department calls marriage before the age of 18 human rights abuse. Yet, 318,000 children were being married in the U.S. between the years 2000 and 2021. And those who marry before the age of 18 have a 70 to 80% chance of divorcing. On the 2020 U.S. Census, in the state of California, 8,800 children were being reported getting married in the previous year. Let's not have any more child brides in California, please. AB 1267 gives young people something incredibly important, which is time. Time to grow, time to learn, time to become independent, time to figure things out on their own, and time to choose their own future. Please vote yes on AB 1267 and make 18 the minimum age for marriage in California. Do it for the girls. Thank you.
Thank you. At this point, we're not supposed to allow statements, but I'm going to make an exception for these Girl Scouts. It looks like they have prepared very well, and it's not just because they're from San Jose. So for the four Scouts, go ahead and read your statements, and then after that, we'll just take the positions that folks have.
Okay. Good morning, Chair and committee members. My name is Blaze, and I'm a freshman at high school in San Jose, California. I'm here to talk to you today about the dangers of child marriage. Some people picture child marriage as a Romeo and Juliet love story. when in reality, it is far from it. Tragically, it's more often a young girl being forced to marry a much older man. That young girl will be 33% more likely to experience domestic and sexual abuse, 31% more likely to live in poverty, and 50% more likely to drop out of high school. She is likely to develop lifelong mental illness and or drug dependency due to the trauma of getting married underage. As for the man, he will likely face zero repercussions. He will not be charged with statutory rape. The law will not hold him accountable. That is, unless this bill passes. Child marriage is not a solution to an unhappy home situation. It is a situation for child protective services and other social services, not for a marriage certificate. Pregnancy is no longer a reason for marriage. A pregnant teenager doesn't need a husband, she needs support, and today's society understands that. We can support teenage mothers without urging them towards marriage. In the past, people were a lot more judgmental about girls who got pregnant outside of marriage and parents trying to raise a child outside of marriage. That's not true today. Children can be born into parents without a marriage certificate. Children can be raised by parents without a marriage certificate. Child marriage in this century causes problems. It doesn't solve them. Honor the victims, survivors, activists, legislators who worked for over a decade to get this bill passed. Vote yes on AB 1267.
Thank you.
Hello, Chairperson and members of the Assembly Judiciary Committee. My name is Madeline Prescott. I enjoy doing swim team, reading, and playing the flute. When I grow up, I want to work at NASA. We know some people are opposed to this bill, but we don't agree with them. The ACLU, or the American Civil Liberties Union, says that children should have the right to make important decisions in their lives. However, these same children are often coerced into arranged marriages, which are still common. These kids aren't able to divorce until they're 18. Child marriage is a loophole for statutory rape laws, which, outside of marriage, would be a felony and would mean 3 years in prison. As of today, at age 14, I could be married in the state of California. Being forced to do something you don't want to do is the opposite of freedom. I hope you pass this bill to protect children from marriage. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chairperson and members of the Judiciary Committee. My name is Sophia. I'm 14 years old, and I'm an acrobatic gymnast, dancer, and a freshman at Valley Christian High School in San Jose. At school, I like to engage in clubs, hang out with my friends, and when I grow up, I want to be a teacher and a gymnastics coach. If you asked me what I want to be when I grow up a year ago, my answer would have been different. That's because I'm still growing and changing my mind. I'm not ready for a commitment such as marriage. I'm a first-generation Pakistani, and many of my family members from Pakistan, such as my aunts, cousins, and grandmothers, have experienced forced child marriage. They felt like their freedoms were stolen and that they were trapped. I don't want this to happen to any other child again. Kids don't have independent, equal rights when they are underage and married to someone older. They are like property and they belong to their husband. While every girl may not have the opportunity to be a Girl Scout, we as Girl Scouts are standing up for all girls to have legal protection and not to be forced to grow up too soon. Right now, I would like you to take a look at us girls standing here. We are students. We are daughters. We are friends. We are Girl Scouts. We all have our own dreams and hopes for our futures, and we're still in the process of growing up. We are not brides. We handmade these bracelets to share a simple but yet very important message. Kids are not brides. Kids are not brides. 18 to marry, childhood first. Those aren't just some slogans to us. They represent what we believe and know every child in California deserves. The chance to experience a childhood and decide what we want to do when we grow up. Girl Scouts teaches us to leave the world a little better than we found it. Today, we're asking you to help us do exactly that. Please stand with California's children and vote yes on AB 1267 because childhood only happens once. Let California's kids have theirs. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, so much for taking the time to be here and for preparing those statements. And all from San Jose. I'll throw that in there again. I'm already proud to be from San Jose. I'm even more proud now this morning. All right, so a name, organization, if any, and your position on the bill, please.
Hello, Chair Kalra. My name is Sarah Tasneem, and at 16 and pregnant, I was forced to marry my rapist. I'm here to support AB 1267. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Chair Kalra. I am Frady Reese, a forced marriage survivor, founder and executive director of Unchained at Last, a proud co-sponsor of the bill. Strongly support.
Thank you.
Alex Zuko from the Junior Leagues of California in support.
Thank you. Okay. Is there anyone here in opposition to AB 1267? We'll bring it back to the committee. Assemblymember Dixon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to begin today by thanking Assemblymember Pellerin for her leadership and courage to address this issue of child marriage. It's about time, long time passed. I'm a proud joint author of AB 1267 and look forward to supporting the bill both in committee today and on the Assembly floor. I did want to take a moment today to address some misinformation that groups have propagated online regarding this bill. As we know, this bill has been changed significantly as it got an amendment after it went through an earlier process. So some individuals, whether intentionally or just that they're not aware of the legislative process, have shared votes on this bill in its previous form. I just want to be clear, I voted no on that previous bill, and I'm a strong yes on the bill in its current form. I want to set that record straight and express how proud I am to stand shoulder to shoulder with Assemblymember Pellerin and the rest of the bipartisan co-authors of this bill. As a Republican, it's important that we all stand up to end the reprehensible and barbaric practice of child marriage in California. This change is long overdue, and I want to thank the Assemblymember again for carrying on the work of Assemblymember Petri Norris, who ran similar legislation in 2024. I'm proud to support the bill today and encourage an aye vote from the rest of the committee and listening to our excellent young women from Girl Scouts. That's a wonderful example of future leadership. So thank you very much.
Thank you. If we could establish quorum, please, Madam Secretary.
Kalra,
Here.
Macedo, Barricade, Bryan, Connolly. Here. Dixon. Here. Herbadian, Pacheco.
Here.
Pappen, Sanchez. Here. Stephanie.
Here.
Zuber.
Thank you. Assemblymember Stephanie.
Thank you, Chair. I am a proud co-author of this bill, and I want to thank the author for moving it forward this session. I know we had a gathering with Unchained at Last with Chelsea Clinton, and all the women and men that were there said, now is the time. We're not going to wait till next year. We're going to get this done. And because of your hustle, we are here today. And of course, to Ms. Sutton for sharing your pain. And for those who have experience with child marriage that have used that pain and turned it into advocacy, you're making it possible to see what we saw with these Girl Scouts. And I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for not giving up. You know, and to the Girl Scouts, wow, thank you for being here. I was a Girl Scout in Morgan Hill, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, and I'm so proud of you for using your voice and for helping to make change. This is a long time coming. When I was the county clerk in San Francisco in 2016 and 17, I could not believe that we allowed children to get married in our state, especially when so many other states have taken action on this. And when we had a bill by, at the time, Senator Jerry Hill, and I couldn't believe the opposition, and I still cannot believe the opposition to this. I want to thank you for using your voice and for every person involved in getting to where we are today. It is way past time that we pass this bill, and I am so excited that I get to be in the Assembly and today vote aye. So thank you to the author and to everyone who has made this possible.
Thank you. Assemblymember Sanchez.
I want to thank Assemblymember Pellerin for your work in advocacy on this bill and your resilience. I would also, if possible, love to be added as a co-author, and thank you for bringing this forward.
Thank you.
Assemblymember Pacheco.
To the author, thank you so much for bringing this bill forward. To our amazing Girl Scouts that just spoke, you did such a wonderful job, and it's so wonderful to see you come up and speak for our Girl Scouts. I commend you ladies for coming up here to Sacramento and speaking on behalf of this important legislation, for having your voices heard. And it's very endearing to see our future generation of leaders because I know all of you will become our future leaders in whatever role or field you choose to lead. You will all be amazing leaders. And the fact that you were able to come here to Sacramento and give your speeches, that was extremely commendable, because a lot of people come here and it's difficult for people to speak in public, but none of you showed any fear. All of you showed leadership, so I commend each and every one of you. And if possible, I would also love to be added as a co-author.
Already are.
I'm already there?
Yeah.
Perfect. And I will move the bill.
We have a motion and a second. Assembly members Burr.
I want to also echo the comments of my colleague from San Francisco and from Downey, and want to thank you for being here today. I missed your speeches, but I just want to thank you for participating in the process and helping with something that's so important, and would love to be added as a co-author as well.
Any other questions or comments from our colleagues? Assembly Member Connolly. Okay, and I'm gonna start by saying I'd also like to be added as co-author. It may be too late. We're gonna take a look at it.
Yeah.
I know that our wonderful author doesn't mind,
Absolutely.
but at the very least, we're co-authors in spirit. We're gonna try to formally get on there as co-authors. And I also want to add to the chorus of thanks to our author, Assembly Member Pellerin, for being so persistent, not giving up. I think it's emblematic of Unchained at Last and the work that's happened over the last decade to not give up. And I think that's a great lesson for everyone here on persistence. And also want to thank Senator Hill, Senator Petrie Norris. I know Senator Wahab, push forward to make sure that we're getting data. And I mean, I think there's. But ultimately, it really is about the survivors and the movement around that's made today possible to get us here. The courage that so many have shown, which is incredibly commendable. Of course, the Girl Scouts are wonderful. One of them, I hope, will have my job someday, being San Jose San Jose leaders. But very well researched, not just your position, but you also clearly really researched really well, as was pretty evident by your statements. Also want to thank the Commission on the Status of Women and Girls, the other co-sponsor for this legislation, and you can see the numerous organizations that are in support. And I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done in this space, and I think it starts by this bill in terms of making it very clear that we're not going to allow children to get married under any circumstances, as was, I think very appropriately laid out by our witness about even if you're in a court. Like there's I guess sometimes we get a sense that that'll protect people, and I think that all of us have had enough experience, whether it's on this committee or other experience we've had, where that's not always the case, and especially when it comes to our young people, I think that it's beyond erring on the side of caution. We should protect them. And I know that there's some arguments on the constitutionality, given the fact that marriage is considered a fundamental right. But I think that there's a lot of other fundamental rights that, in the interest of protecting our youth, we either limit or curtail until they're the age majority. So this is not unique. And I think it will withstand any court challenge. If someone brings a court challenge on this, I think it'll pretty convincingly defeat any court challenge. And so I think legally we're in a very comfortable place. A lot of other states have done it already, of course. But that being said, I'm very grateful to the work that everyone's done. I have a bill regarding restraining orders that's also aimed the same aim of ensuring that that no one, regardless of age, is forced into a marriage. And I think this pairs very nicely with that to continue to build a movement where we're going to protect everyone in our community from these kinds of this kind of reprehensible conduct that would force someone into a marriage. And we don't want to have people to wait until they're in a marriage to have rights to protect themselves. And that's ultimately what it's about, is really it's true self-determination of individuals to empower them to make choices for themselves and not be forced, especially into something like marriage, where where there are so many examples of such horrific conduct that occurs once the forced marriage occurs. So that being said, again, very grateful to the author. Would you like to close?
Thank you so much. Nobody does this work alone. And I am so incredibly grateful for those shoulders that I stand on today, including Senator Hill, including my colleagues, Assemblymember Petrie Norris, Assemblymember Dixon, Assemblymember Quirk Silva, Senators Menjivar, Wahab, Assemblymember Irwin, Senator Rubio, and all the other co-authors, bipartisan, bicameral, the voices of survivors. Thank you so much for telling your story. You are brave and courageous. The Commission on the Status of Women and Girls, you just keep rocking and you keep representing those who need this strong voice. Unchained at last. Persistence, absolute persistence. And Chelsea Clinton for really giving us this, national, global perspective. My incredible team, Rhiannon Mulligan, who's here in the room, that's worked many hours on this, and my chief, Tomasa Duenas, and for our incredible Girl Scouts. Wow, I'm not looking at you as future leaders. You are leaders right now, and you are changing the world with your voice. And my daughter's calling. It's so funny. And she's getting married September 19th. She's 28. And I'm getting emotional because this is a long time coming. And I am just so grateful to all of you for lending your voice. And I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you.
Motion is to concur in Senate amendments. Calra?
Aye.
Calra, aye. Macedo? Barricayhan? Bryan? Connolly? Aye. Connolly, aye. Dixon? Aye. Dixon, aye. Herbedian? Aye. Herbedian, aye. Pacheco? Aye. Pacheco, aye. Pappen? Sanchez? Aye. Sanchez, aye. Stephanie? Aye. Stephanie, aye. Zabur? Aye. Zabur, aye.
All right, that bill is out. Congratulations.
We have bracelets here we'll leave behind.
Oh,
as
nice.
well, so please
Excellent.
take one.
Thank you. All right, we have one more bill, and we're waiting the author.